Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. For years, it seems like the Blon BL03 has been the IEM that everybody recommends for a budget. If you're going to get the best value, get the Blon BL03. You can upgrade it with a cable and you can change the tips and you get the spectacular sound. I don't disagree with that. I think the Blon BL03 is a decent IEM for the price tag. But is there something better? Is there something that can take down the Giant Blon? Let's find out. All right, so the KB Ear KS1. Everybody's been talking about it on Discord, and they said, hey, black or white, there's some differences. Hey, stock cable with a mic, without a mic, there's some differences. Can you check this out? And so I went and I purchased a black and a white KB Ear KS1, and I got one with a mic, one without. And I tested them. I ran them on the same gear for the same amount of time with the same playlist at the same volume levels. And I gave them a listen. Let's find out what the results are. The KB Ear KS1, 10 millimeter dual dynamic driver, 18 ohms, 106 decibels of sensitivity, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Has a very unspectacular, very basic unboxing. You get 3 sets of tips, small, medium, and large, and your typical Chi-Fi cable, which is terrible. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's not my favorite, and it works for the price point of 20 bucks. The IEMs themselves are very universal built, and they are plastic build. Nothing spectacular, look very similar to a KZ EDX, feel very similar, plastic, they're comfortable, light, it works. There's that. I mean, it's just a decent, average build quality, nothing spectacular, but they're not underwhelming and they're not overwhelming for the price tag. They just fit for the $20. Outside noises are isolated fairly decently. You do get some nice isolation, and I would say it's probably about 60 to 65% of outside noises are blocked. Office work, around the house, at the gym, things like that, they'll work very well. Comfort-wise, you can wear them for hours on end, have no problems. I use the stock tips, medium fit me very well, got a good seal. All right. Stock cable, mic or non-mic, I did not hear a difference. As far as sound quality, they sounded the same. The mic worked very well, had no complaints whether or not people could hear me or not. It's a one button answer and phone calls, play, pause, fast forward, rewind, that type of thing. All right, so the sound of the KB Ear KS1, plays very well on all gear, have no problems driving it out off of phones, dongles, off of DAPs, laptop, desktops, you name it, it works just fine. And have no issues whatsoever. Do apologize if mailman is going down the street, so dogs may bark. All right, so sound-wise, bass, they're big, they're boomy, they're fun, they're engaging, they have enough details, and it's good for 20 bucks. I actually have no complaints. I really enjoy the bass. It's very elevated and you get this nice thump and rumble. It's very fun. Mids, they're slightly recessed. They're pleasant, but they are a little accentuated in the upper mids, and they can have just a little bit of harshness, but they never go into the fatiguing side of things. Treble, lower treble is also accentuated, does have that little bit of harshness to it. Lacks a little bit of extension up top, but it doesn't sound stuffy in any way. Just wish I had a little bit more energy, a little bit more airiness to it. The soundstage is average, nothing spectacular on it. Depth and layering is decent. It's not going to blow your mind, but you can kind of pick apart a soundstage. You can at least tell whether or not it's right, center, left. Things travel across the stage and move smoothly. There is no 3 blob effect. Details and resolution, the details are there, but they're just a little bit on the hidden side. I do wish that they were a little bit easier to pull out and hear. But for the most part, you're not going to miss any of the details. You just have to listen a little bit harder. Anyways, the KB Ear KS1s. I really do enjoy these. I highly recommend them for the $20 price tag, for the usages of just throwing them in a bag and forgetting about them and moving on, using them and just, here you go. And if someone walks off with them, hey, it's $20. Not going to be out $1,000. All right, so the Blon BL03, how does it compare to the KS1? The Blon BL03 will have a little bit of warmer, thicker mids. They're a little bit more forward. They're not quite as recessed as they are on the KS1. And they also have upper mids, lower treble harshness. And the details are not as resolving on the Blon BL03. It's interesting because the KS1 actually seems to resolve better in stock form than the Blon BL03. It just doesn't sound quite as harsh, even though these do have a little bit of harshness with the stock cable and with the stock tips. I find that they actually are still somewhat smoother than the Blon BL03. With all that being said, can we officially take down the Giant Blon? So everybody online started saying, hey, you need to, change the tips. You need to change the cable. You need to do this. And I was like, why? They sound decent on stock form. Why do I need it? They'll just humor me. And so I did. I started rummaging around behind me here on my various cables that I have in the office and then tips. And the cable that I used was the drop 2-pin cable. Now this cable is $30. And so that's, the KS1 is 2/3 of that price. They come in at $20. The cable's $30. But I say this with 100% honesty and 100% confidence. That cable, the drop 2-pin cable, makes a difference. Soundstage opens up, depth and layering becomes more deep and easier to dissect. The isolation and separation of instruments becomes more improved. You can actually, it doesn't muddle things together like it kind of did with the stock cable. Treble gets some extension, gets some air and energy that was lacking. That harshness in the upper mids and lower treble region is smoothed out, and the bass gets more detailed. And the mids kind of come a little more forward and have a little bit more fullness to them. I was amazed. I was like, wow, a cable made the difference. I searched on the Blon BL03 for years, and I haven't really been able to ever hear a difference between cable swapping of the Blon BL03, but the KS1, I heard a difference. Then I started using different tips. I tried Deconi foams. Now this is the Gemini side. You have to get the ones that are a little bit bigger. So the Gemini bullets from Deconi, and you get this nice fullness and thickness. And the bass is just energetic and just boomy, and it's just fun and engaging. Everything else is just smooth. The mids have a lushness to them. It's a little bit darker of sound, very lush and romantic sounding, and it's just engaging. I really enjoy the KS1 with the with the Deconi bullets. And then the other tip that I really enjoy, and the one that I highly recommend, is the Epro horn shaped tip. Now the Epro horn does insert deeper in the ears, and you get a really nice seal to it. You lose a little bit of that boomy lushness that you get with the Deconi tip, but instead you get more details and more clarity. And it's just a very fun and engaging sound with the details that are a little bit more intensely presented. But it's a very fun sound. I really enjoy the KS1. With all that being said, after the upgrades, I can officially say that the Blon BL03 gets defeated by the KB KS1. The Blon BL03 dies, and the KB KS1 is the champion of the fight. But is it worth the price tag of upgrades? $20 for the IEM, $30 for the cable, $12 for the tips. You're looking at $62. For $62, I can think of a lot of IEMs that I would take over the KS1. Tin Hi-Fi T3, CCA, CKX, Jade Audio EA1, Moondrop SSR. I like the KS1. I enjoy it. I really enjoy changing the tips and the cable, and all of that's fun. But is it worth the $62 that it takes to do that? That's up to you to decide. If you're a tweaker and a modder and you just enjoy hearing differences in cables and tips and all that, KS1's fun because it does actually change with different stuff added to it. But if you just want a regular banger IEM at $20 that's worthy of it, I would get the KS1. It's very good sounding in stock form, and it's not gonna hurt the wallet if it disappears or if it breaks. But if you're looking for that stock IEM that's gonna be the giant killer for $20 versus all these others, then the KS1 is not what you're looking for. So you have to decide, do I want to pay to upgrade it and improve it, or do I want to just accept it in stock form? It's up to you. I highly recommend the KS1 and upgrading it. It's been fun. I heard the improvements, and it's sticking around with me in modded form with the drop 2-pin cable and the Epro horn-shaped tips. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on the screen is a subscription link, notification bell. If you haven't already, please check those off. And then check out the links down below for how you can subscribe to the channel, follow the channel, support the channel, contact the channel. Also, there's information regarding gear that was used, playlists that were used, recommended gear, all kinds of things down below. Check out those links. Also, there's affiliate links and ways that you can support the channel through PayPal, Patreon. So please check out the links down below. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. I'll catch you on the next video.